Hello and welcome to another episode of Where Are the Heartnets. This week we mainly focused on Nathan's birthday, and the birthday morning started with this stunning rainbow off our balcony. So it was just the most relaxing and perfect way to say happy birthday. I did a great job organising that. And then we surprised Nathan by taking him to a cafe called China House. It's apparently very famous here in Penang. I hadn't heard of it. It was recommended to me by our landlady after 6 of the highly rated cafes I wanted to go to were all closed on Tuesday. So I reached out to her. She said that it's very, very famous here, very popular. So we jumped in a Grab and checked it out, and she was correct. This place did not disappoint. It had the most amazing lineup of cakes, which is perfect when you're celebrating someone's birthday. And it also had a really nice breakfast. It was a bit random. It was like a fusion of different countries, from Middle Eastern to English, but it was still really, really tasty. The place itself was very cool. It had lots of different things to explore and see inside it.
And of course, for me, it was a complete surprise. I had no idea that this place existed, and walking in and just seeing, I actually counted them, there are 40 different cakes you could choose from just to eat there. And that's not including the pastries and the other things that they had there as well. So I ended up getting for my birthday cake, for that first birthday cake anyway, I chose a whiskey and pecan tart, which was incredible, and just explored the place. It just sort of kept going. You sort of saw a lot of paperback books all throughout the area, but there was sort of upstairs areas, and then long corridors with artworks, and then wine bars, and it just keeps going. And it was really eclectic, and if you're the kind of person that just likes poking around and exploring, then you can do pretty much all the poking and exploring you want just in this one place. Even as you keep going through the cafe and out the back, there's this little courtyard area with lots of little random statues and pieces of art, and a pool area. And you can see that the cafe / restaurant / wine bar, which up the other end becomes, I think, another cocktail bar or something at night, could hold an awful lot of people. And the place started to fill up more and more as the time went on. And it really was the kind of place that you would never find, I don't think. Certainly not in somewhere like Australia. It's so random and so cool, and the cakes were just incredible. It's not just that there were 40 different cakes to choose from, but they were just amazing cakes. And we've always found that actually whenever we've sort of been to Asia, is just kind of not a lot of people back home in Australia that wouldn't see Asia as being a place to go for great cakes and pastries and things like that, but for our experience it's been quite the opposite. You get far better cakes and things here than we would expect back in Oz.
Then we took Nathan for a walk down Armenian Street, which is in Georgetown. It's kind of a bit touristy now, but it's definitely like your historical area. Lots of photo opportunities and lots of little things to explore, lots of different little alleyways, which we spent time walking down, grabbed coconut shake and took lots of photos.
After that, Tess and Luke, to his credit, left the rest of the morning up to me what I wanted to do, and all I wanted to do was just keep walking and exploring. So that's what we did. I really have been wanting to get to Little India. We'd already obviously just eaten, so we still haven't eaten in Little India, which is the ultimate goal because we love Indian food. And also from there, I really wanted to get to the waterfront, which is not too far away.
We spent some time chasing some pigeons, and then we made it down to the waterfront to check out the old fort, which doesn't have too much going on. There is actually an amazing cafe there, but it just happened to be closed on Tuesdays, so we just checked out the cannons, the old fort, stared at the water for a while, and then we decided that it was probably a little bit too hot to continue walking and exploring for the rest of the day.
If you look in this scene over to the far right at the tip is Quayside Condominiums, which is where we're staying. And this is a good view of the whole main waterfront from Georgetown through to Tanjung Tekong.
We then had a pretty chilled afternoon for Nathan's birthday, and then we went over to our friends, Carl and Sophie, and we had a dinner there for Nathan and, of course, more cake.
It's been great having Carl and Sophie here. They're great friends and great people, and we've all been sort of settling in and exploring and figuring things out together, and it makes it twice as good. And obviously having them here on my birthday really, really made it special.
It definitely makes it easier settling into a new location when you have amazing friends that you can explore with and lean on when you need to and go through all the ups and downs with. So we're really grateful to have them here.
Other than that, the rest of the week was fairly quiet, although, of course, we wouldn't be us without trying to find new cafes. And in this case, this is another patisserie. There are just a lot of patisseries around, and they all seem to be incredible. This one was recommended to Tess by our landlord.
Yep, again, it was closed on Nathan's birthday because it was one of the ones on the list. So we went the day after.
But it was famous for
their almond croissants, and they delivered. It was amazing. After how much hype had been put around it from the reviews and our landlord, I was a bit worried, but it was just so delicious. And if you come to Penang, it is very much worth visiting this location.
And of course, while we're there, it started pouring down rain, which we wanted to touch on a little bit, because every time we've lived in Asia, you do get these flash sort of rainstorms, and it really does change your day in a second. All of a sudden, all the taxis or /Grabs /Ubers become 2 to 3 times the price and very difficult to get. It all seems to happen in an instant, and you can be just out relaxing, having a good time, and then all of a sudden you can become stuck. But if you're going to get stuck somewhere, getting stuck at a place like this is a pretty good place to be.
So we are in rainy season at the moment, so we do carry umbrellas around because we are used to it. We have lived in Asia before, so it's just one of those things where you just settle in and watch the storm. But we finally did get a grab, and we made our way to one of the shopping centres to try even more food, and we had our deep fried crab, crispy crab, and it was also really, really good.
Now we just finished up the week with another local restaurant in Straits Quay, which is right next to where we're staying. And this time it was a Korean chicken and beer restaurant. If you've never been to a Korean chicken and beer restaurant, this is actually a pretty good one to start with, actually.
It was delicious, and something I'd never had before was the crispy chicken fondue. So they just call it crispy chicken with cheese, but it essentially was like having a fondue, and it was so decadent, so good, and it will not be the last time that we order that.
No, but probably we'll order less next time, given we took 2/3 of it home.
And that's a wrap from us. Thanks for joining us for Nathan's birthday week.
See you next week.